Guys, welcome back to another video. In this Roblox video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make teams and in Roblox video. Now, teams is quite simple to understand, and I'm going to be showing you how to create teams, how to manage teams and who can join them, and how to automatically assign specific users to a team. So now, there's going to be multiple elements of this video, so let's begin. But first, for this, we need to actually know how to make a team. Now, to make a team, you need to go to Teams over. There is a Teams folder right over here. If you hit the plus button next to it, frequently used team. If you click on that, a new team will be made. And if I show you this, and I load into the game, and I still got this from my last video, team here, team automatically assigned to that team because it's the only team. Now, if you don't want to be automatically assigned to it, you can disable auto assignable right here, meaning I will no longer be in that team, meaning I will be put to neutral considering since there is only one team. There we go. So that is teams right here, but you can disable enable or disable this if you want to. Now I'm going to create a bunch of teams. So for this one, I'm just going to make this one um so you can name these whatever you want, depending on what game you're making. If you're making a railway game, you can make passenger and driver, dispatch guard, all of that stuff. But for this, I might just do player, and I can leave that white auto assignable. And then I can make another team. This one is not going to be auto assignable for player. Then I can and then go on to admin. I'm going to change the color of this to yellow, because admin is typically yellow. So that is admin. And then I can create another team. This is going to be the last team that I make. And this is going to be owner. Auto assignable is off. And I'm going to have it as red. Because red is a good color for owner. Now that is the three teams that I am going to have. But that is basically how you create a team. And this how this will look is like this in the leaderboard. Player, admin, and owner. Those are all of the teams that I have in my game. But you can have any teams, you can name the teams whatever you want. And you can also change the colours to whatever you want. And now, what we need to do is we need to make a system where you can change your team. This video is basically a full guide to teams. So now, to make a teams changer, I'm going to go into Screen GUI, right here, menu handler. I'm basically going to disable this so that we don't have it popping up. Disable scripts. There we go. So now it will not appear. That's basically a Screen GUI. There, this is main menu. I need to be able to recognize which one is which. Now, for changing teams, I'm going to make a Screen GUI, and I'm going to name this Teams Assign. And then I can create a frame which will basically look like this. Pretty simple. And I also need a text button right here. I'm going to type in Teams, and you can design this however you want. I'm going to have mine bold and text scaled with source and flow changed to Fudoka 1. And that is basically Teams button right there. I'm going to name this button Open. This will basically be a toggle for when you click it, it will open and close this main menu. But now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a local script. Now, what we want is to make the variables. We can start with local GUI equals script.parent, and then local frame equals GUI, not game, GUI dot frame, and then local open equals GUI dot open, like that. That is basically going to get the variables. Now, to make this button actually work, what we need to do is we need to make a script that detects when the button is clicked. I would have covered this in my last video. Open mouse button one click connect function, and then I can turn off that, and then we close it off like that. Frame dot visible equals not frame dot visible. This is a kind of confusing to understand, but once you get it, it's pretty simple. Frame dot visible. This is going to detect whether the frame is currently visible or not on the screen. Equals not frame dot visible. This means that if this returns true, then it will change to not true. But if this returns false, then this will be not false, so true. That is going to be exactly how it works. So rather simple way of doing it. And now here, if I press Teams, I can toggle it on and off. And now that is basically that. What we need to do now is we need to make some buttons. I'm going to make them rather simple. I'm going to make the background color here rather blue, like that. And I'm going to make the text here player, like that. I'm going to have it bold text and text scaled with the highway gothic, like that. And I'm also going to have a UI corner, like that. That is the player button. I'm going to duplicate this and bring it down. I'm going to change this to be the next one, admin. And then I'm going to move this down and change it to be owner. I'm going to send this down in the middle. But guys, just so you know, you are going to actually not have all of them in your teams if you are doing this. Because otherwise, normal players can assign themselves to the team. But otherwise, if you want to have it in there, but stop people from joining if they did not meet the requirements, let me know in the comment section, and I can make a short video, make a video on YouTube Shorts to basically explain that. I'm going to name this button player, and I'm going to actually make it called player. This one's going to be called admin, and this one is going to be called owner. That is basically all of the buttons. Now in the local script, we're going to want to actually find these buttons. Local player button equals frame.player button. Frame.player. Literally like that. And now what we can do is we can copy this and paste it down. Local admin button and local owner button. Frame.admin and frame.owner like that. And now, what we need to do is we need to make a system. Up here, we can make new variables. Local player, players, equals game, get service, players. And local teams, equals game, get service, teams. This is basically going to return the teams and players, player services into variables. So now, I'm going to make a comment for teams assign. And now here, I'm going to actually turn this off soon for this account, and because it's a little bit annoying. Now, for teams assign, we're going to want player first. Player button dot mouse button one click next function, and then like that. Now, local player equals players local player like that. And now player.team equals teams. Now what this is going to do is this is going to actually find the teams and then in teams dot player like this. This is now going to assign the player to the player's team. But now, and that I can't test because I'm already in the player's team. I can duplicate this and change player button to admin button, and then the player.team is going to be teams.admin. And now duplicate this and owner button, teams owner. Now press play, and this is basically going to work. Currently we're in the player team, so I can't click this to test it. Move on to admin team, click, and we are now officially admin. You are now on the admin team. Now owner, boom. You are now on the owner team. You can keep flipping through this as many times as you want, and it will not break. basically like that. But currently, when you first load into the game, you are a player. Surely you would want some people to not be in the player team, right? That is exactly what I was thinking. So currently, I'm going to set this frame to be false and invisibility. But now what we need to do is we need to stop the player from being in the player's team if they are too powerful or too high up. What we can do is we can close this local script and come to the server script surface and script game dot we need a basic system to get the player. Game dot players dot player add a connect function and like this player. This is basically going to return the player as a variable in this function. And this is basically going to run the second the player joins. And then up here we can make another variable local teams equals name get service teams like that. That is going to return the teams variable as we have mentioned in here. Now what we need to do is we need to actually find the team that we want to be in. But you can run this for multiple people. I quite like to create tables for this. And local owner table equals and then squiggly brackets enter. This is a dictionary table. I will perhaps if you want me to explain this in further detail, let me know and I can create a video on it. Now owner table 1705639 769. This is not what you are going to put in unless you want me to be in here. This is my user ID. I have this memorized by the way because I use it a lot. But you guys want to put in your user ID for owner table. And you can basically if table dot find and now this is going to run a function to find someone in this table. The haystack is actually owner table and the needle is the player. It says number, but that is not what we want. Player dot user ID. There we go. Like this. And then this is now going to find detect whether the user ID in here is the equivalent of the player's user ID that is in the server. Now, what we need to do is we need to do player.team equals teams.owner like that. This is basically the system that will automatically put me into the owner team. And I load in, and it is currently not putting me in there. Perhaps what I'm thinking for this is, I mean, it does work with the server script service, which is why I'm a little bit confused. Ah, yeah, so I completely forgot. I am on a different account. Of course I am. So now I need to come onto the account that I am using, which is actually going to be not this one. I'm currently not logged into it. So I'm going to quickly log out of this account, and I'm going to log in to my secondary genuine underscore dev account. And then I'm actually not going to show you my password because it is private. There we go. I'm going to save it so that I can stay in this. And then up here, there we go. I keep forgetting that I'm on a different account for these videos. So that is currently my user ID. Now, if I press play, there we go. Finally, I am in the owner team, as I should be. And now we can, of course, change this. Player, admin, owner. But then, of course, I will automatically be in the owner team as shown. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment section what further tutorials you would like. This is currently about pretty much everything there is to know about teams and running team automations. So if you need any help, then let me know in the comment section, and I'll help you out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.